So the story broke just hours before the Republican debate this week.
Big week in the press for Rudy Giuliani, one that he really wouldn't enjoy.
Rudy Giuliani, Jeff, had a big story that came out this week.
The story on Rudy Giuliani this week on whether he was hiding the expense of his security detail.
Here's how the New York tabloids played it up, and look at this. Doesn't add up. Tryst fund.
Here's what Rudy Giuliani said about it at the debate the other night.
First of all, it's not true. I had 24-hour security for the 8 years that I was mayor, and they took care of me, and they put in their records, and they handled them in the way they handled them. I had nothing to do with the handling of their records, and they were handled, as far as I know, perfectly appropriately.
It's a typical political hit job with only half the story told, not that second part told, that every single penny was reimbursed, that all of this was public.
That was Republican frontrunner Rudy Giuliani defending how his security detail was paid for when he used to visit his girlfriend as mayor of New York City.
I think this is a disaster for Rudy Giuliani. New York City cops walked his mistress's dog. Is that appropriate? Has he answered that question? Why did that happen? Who was the police commissioner who approved that? Bernie Kerik, a corrupt thug. I mean, this is a big problem.
I think you'd have to say the worst moment of the week was when Bernie Kerik came out and said, oh, it was just fine, and, in support of Giuliani. That's not what you want to have happen. You don't want Bernie Kerik as your character witness.
I think most of the country, when they learn that the New York City police were paying for security for the mayor's girlfriend and security for his wife at the same time, might find that a little troubling. I don't know.
I got a call from Anthony Carbonetti, perhaps the aide closest to Rudy Giuliani last night about 6:30. It indicated to me how worried they are because I don't get calls from Mr. Carbonetti at 6:30 on Saturday nights.
This is not good news for the mayor's campaign.
Bookkeeping stuff aside, this flap right now is all about having an extramarital affair. I think that's what comes through to people.
It reminds people of his kind of checkered personal past. It's not good for him.
It's about that affair, and that hurts you.
In this story, the Giuliani story, there are two words that are important. One is girlfriend or lady friend, and the other is Hamptons. Right. Do you know what I mean? Oh, you're going off to this rich place to be with this lady, and we get to pay the price of that.
I have come to the conclusion that any story that begins presidential candidate and girlfriend are not good.
No, and when the follow-up story in the New York press is that, in fact, New York City police chauffeured around Judith Nathan when she was Rudy Giuliani's girlfriend or mistress, but certainly not yet married to him in 2000 and 2001. That's not good either. No, it's a tough week for Rudy Giuliani, and I think his path to the nomination is very problematic.
In the general election, are evangelical voters who punished George Bush for his drug driving record and sat home, are they going to do the same to Rudy Giuliani? Are women going to migrate toward a candidate who has an estranged relationship with his adult children?
Giuliani supporters on the ground, in the base, those Republicans, they all know about the former mayor's personal dramas and Bernie Kerik and all of that stuff. What interests me is this story something that will go too far for them? Is this something that will make them think, I don't like it, or is it just more stuff?
I think
if this is a trickle story, and all of a sudden we're talking about this in a month, then all of a sudden, all bets are off on that argument, and that could be the most problematic thing.
Let us stipulate that this story about the security and the girlfriend is a net negative, okay? But compared to the good news he had this week, and the good news is called Mike Huckabee.
I'm not going to defend what he was doing, where he was going, because I don't know. But I can tell you this, and every other person who's ever been a governor or a mayor understands if you have a security detail, they make decisions about how they handle that. I thought it was a cheap shot at Rudy. There's no point in trying to dig through what his security detail did unless they can specifically say that he personally ordered something. And I thought it's a little bit of a stretch to go after Rudy for how his security detail accounted for their processes.
So I was surprised, I guess I shouldn't have been, but when I asked Governor Huckabee about Giuliani, he was not going to touch him.
Boy, he just took a pass, didn't he? You threw that ball, and he just didn't see that ball.
People have kept saying, trust us, New Yorkers, we know Giuliani is weird, he's something of an authoritarian, it'll come through. So far, the polls have not responded. He is still leading. My gut is he'll be able to get out of this one.
We have to look at Giuliani's business and government record. The media, with the exception of the New York City press and the Village Voice, Wayne Barrett, has given Giuliani a fairly free ride. And let us hope this is a tipping point. It takes a personal money, sex scandal to do that. It has. It has. I think Bernie Kerik should have gotten a lot more attention. The fact that his campaign chair in South Carolina is an indicted cocaine distributor. I'm telling you, George, I think Giuliani, who is a cross, not Bush on steroids, which is too kind to him, he's a cross between Cheney and Nixon, can use 9/11 to trump these stories anytime, and it's going to take a lot of digging.